Over the course of Ninjago's lifespan, we have received literal hundreds of amazing sets from LEGO. And coming from someone who has collected sets since 2011, I can firmly say I have fallen in love with many of them. So this is the beginning of a very inconsistent series, where I'm going to talk about some of my personal favourites from Ninjago's lifespan. And let me know some of your favourite sets from the show's history, whether they're ones you own or ones you want to own. But we are going to kick off with a relatively recent set in terms of Ninjago's lifespan, and that is going to be the Overlord Dragon set. This bad boy released in 2021 for £25 or $30 for you Americans out there. I see you guys. And when this set released, there was so much anticipation for this because we've never received an Overlord Dragon before then, and this was one that many fans, me included, really wanted on the shelf. But we're going to be taking a look at the box first, and I do own the box somewhere, but it's amongst a pile of boxes of sets I already own, so I'm going to have to use shots of it. But it's a very nice box to see. The art itself is lovely looking. I love the Legacy logo, I love the gold Kai, I presume, in the top right corner, but it could be Lloyd, and the sides and the back also have a lot of beautiful renders. It's just a nice box to look at. But to get to the dragon itself, it really is, in my opinion, one of the best dragons we've had in the show's history. From every single angle, he is just covered in beautiful details and lovely little features. He feels layered, he's got scales, he's got everything you would want from a LEGO dragon. The colours just completely pop as well. He's got a bit of grey, there's gold in there, a nice bit of purple. If I was to nitpick, I would want to replace a bit of the blue with more purple, but honestly, I'm completely fine with the colour scheme we got. This is probably because the Overlord does just have a good colour palette in general, but this definitely is a very nice set of colours to have for him, and totally not me being biased because he has some of my favourite colours. But I genuinely can't get over how good the head looks. It's got such a good amount of detail while keeping itself simple at the same time, and it perfectly captures the look from the show. Whether he's got his mouth open or closed, he just looks fantastic, and it just makes for a great variety of poses that you can make. The scaling, on the other hand, is somehow even better, and probably one of the best features of this set, because he is huge and he is beyond intimidating. From most angles, he just looks massive, and that's because he is, but when you got him in the right look, he truly does tower over minifigures and makes them look tiny by comparison. The posability on him is absolutely amazing as well, and there's so many amazing poses you can give him, whether they're more Overlord looking poses or more dragon looking poses. You have got him covered. Luckily as well, the build itself is very sturdy, so you're not going to be worrying about any sort of breakage from dropping him or just handling him in general, so the poses are more than covered from this as well. But like I said, I have to say this is probably one of my favourite dragons from the show's history, and I own a lot of the dragons to say the least, but this is definitely one I always come back to and love looking at when on the shelf. And whether you display this with the original Golden Dragon or the Legacy Golden Dragon, you will have no issue with how good that this looks. And personally, as someone who displays them with the Legacy Dragon, because I think they scale a bit better, I definitely can say that it's one of my favourite parts of my display, especially when you give him the Overlord figures and a Golden Lloyd next to him. This set does come with two minifigures, one being a version of the Overlord and one being a version of Golden Lloyd, and one of them I'm a little conflicted on, but the other one I just love. To talk about the one I love, it's of course going to be Golden Lloyd, and his legacy look is fantastic. From head to toe, he does just have a really good design and print. I really can't get over how good this looks, but this might be a bias because all Golden Lloyds do look good. In terms of accessories, he does come with a golden katana in the set, but personally I do display him with green effect pieces, because like he said in the final fight in season 2, he doesn't need a sword. This is the version of him that does come with the regular Lloyd head, and it's technically more accurate to the show because he never had a golden head at the end of season 2, but there is an option for the golden head Lloyd which came with the Legacy Golden Dragon, so it's up to you which one you prefer of the two, but I personally display them both because I like them both equally. But this is definitely a figure that you won't regret owning if you do pick it up, and I do believe it's relatively cheap in the grand scheme of things, especially when Golden Lloyds can be a bit more expensive. The Overlord that came in the set is weird to say the least. This is very clearly his rebooted design. You can see the golden armor on his torso and on the shoulder pads, and it's also his helmet from season 3. And it's so confusing to the point of I recorded this video with the other Legacy Overlords. Again, when it comes to the accessories, he does have a lightning piece, and it's not the worst, but personally I like to replace it with Gravis's elemental pieces because it does look like the power of destruction. But the design overall is just very weird to say the least, and I really don't think it fits in the set, to the point where I would rather have them just not included an Overlord minifigure in the set. But is this still a version of the Overlord to get? Yes, because you can never have too many Overlord minifigures, but this is certainly one I just don't know how I feel about it. But at the very least, it doesn't belong in this set. I will say I am surprised we didn't get a Stone Warrior or two in this set. But ultimately, this set didn't need much more than it had. It's very concise and to the point of what it wanted to be, which is the final battle. But overall, I have to say that this set is fantastic, and I can't get over how much I love it. I genuinely cannot recommend this set more, and I think to anyone who watches the show should own this set, because this is one of the most iconic scenes from the show's history, and who wouldn't want to own a set version of that? From what I've seen, this set does go for around £50 or $50, and is that worth it? Yes, if you truly like the set. Obviously, if you don't want the set, don't buy it, because it is 2x what the retail was. But it doesn't take away from how good this set is, and I personally would pay £50 for it if I didn't own it today. But that about does it for this set review, and I hope you enjoyed, and let me know if you want more, because this was certainly an interesting video to make. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Okay, bye!